This is my review of The Promised Neverland, Chapter 156. Let's end this. Basically starts off where the last one left. The crazy, faceless, evil queen popped back up after making a nest shell thing from all the people and demons she's eaten in her life, which, okay. That didn't haunt my nightmares or make me wake up screaming more than once. Not at all, of course not. What's interesting, though, is Emma kind of recognizes this because she says she looks just like the demon painted on the wall of the temple, ceiling at temple, whichever one. Which is interesting. I mean, later on, Sonju says he recognizes it as that form. So this is something well known to demons. I assumed this was some kind of mutation as a result of all the poison she took in and whatever the freak happened after that. But this is something else. This is something that's known to demon kind. Maybe it's what happens when demons are pushed too far, or when they evolve too far, or where they give up their sanity, or something to attain more power. It's hard to say. I mean, Ray even wonders, is that even the queen? And she makes it fairly clear, yes, she is. Oh, pure joy. All of them together right in front of me when I woke up. The 3 highest grades from Gracefield 3. How joyful. Just like he said, they were all alive. I forgive you for the attack on my capital, on my subjects, and on myself. The children from Lambda and the escapees to the Gracefield will return to me. All of you I shall devour. Which is how in my mind I picture her speaking. So yeah, she's crazy. Like, next level crazy right here. And even after all this, after, her regents has been killed, basically her entire government's been torn to pieces, her capital is in literal ashes, and as far as she knows, everyone out there is dead, she's perfectly content as long as she gets to devour the Gracefield kids, the highest grade kids, which, I mean, 2 things. One, it just proves she is a terrible leader who had no right being the queen of absolutely anything other than the fact that, she was the most powerful. Duke Yurvik was definitely in command for a lot of reasons. She's not a queen by any stretch of the imagination. And second, what the freak's going on with the whole deal with the demon god, The deal very clearly said, I will get the best of your harvest every year, and she's about to eat the best of the harvest, so... I mean, also said you cannot break a deal with a demon god. You just can't. It doesn't work that way. So should she be, incapable of eating them or something? I don't know, that just feels weird to me. It feels like there was a reason they made that point. Anyway, then in the span of about, 2 seconds, she manages to completely capture Zazie, grow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 12 mouths on her head, which, not freaky at all, of course, and attempt to eat him. I mean, Zazie responds by literally cutting her in half, but that doesn't seem to do very much. As, again, by the time he's about to swing his sword again, she not only regenerates, reattaches her severed pieces, but knocks him unconscious and throws him against the wall. I think she went out of her way to make sure not to kill him, just so, she could eat him when he's alive or use him for experimentation down the road, but that is absolutely freaking terrifying. And then we just prove it, once again, Emma, Ray, they're just meat to her. You'll shoot me, 63194. What about you, 81194? So yeah, she basically just sees them as meat, as cattle, as property for her to devour. Which is all the more reason why I want them to eat her. Just for them to kill her or something, just please, just bring an end to her. Norman has a whole little moment trying to figure out, okay, what the freak is going on here? Basically, since they split her in half and it didn't work, then her core isn't, in her head. It has to be somewhere else on her body or maybe out of it. I saw an interesting theory on the Reddit page that said the high enough nobles can move their cores elsewhere outside their body. It's like Sonja moved his to his horse, she moved it somewhere else. Archduke Luvis moved his to his monkey, and he's still alive. He's going to make a comeback sooner or later. But Emma and Ray aren't giving up. They said, you know what, we can do this. We're going to kill her. And then the overwhelming bloodlust, aura, darkness, whatever you want to call it, terrified them so much they literally, physically could not move, no matter how much they tried. So they're about to get eaten. Thankfully, at that exact moment, Sonja showed up, along with Musica, but most importantly, Sonja right now. Turned out Emma used the beacon when she started seeing the queen mutate into this horrible monstrosity. Which, good thinking! That was exactly the moment where you should call for help! Good for you, Emma! Also, they managed to completely deal with Norman's whole poison thing. The town's mostly okay, citizens, they're fine. She's given out large quantities of her own blood for everyone to pass around and say, hey, drink this and you'll be fine. Which normally I don't think most people would actually do, but in this situation, it's, if everyone's turned into giant monstrosities all around you and someone says, drink this, you'll be fine, you'll be like, alright, I'm drinking it. Better of two options, you know? Also, Don and Gilda managed to escape. I just love this one little panel here. Norman's like, oh my god, it's an evil-blooded woman I tried to kill. Is she here to kill me? And she just looks at him and smiles like, hi, Norman! How are you? Proving that once again, she is the best character in this whole series, most forgiving of everyone. Then Sonja comes in and gives his own insights. He recognizes the form and says she's become a monster inside and out. Pretty sure she's already a monster inside, but now she's a monster outside as well. Also, peace just not working in any way whatsoever. I mean, Musica theorized that, if they had made it in time, they could negotiate with Duke Yorvik or Lord Pupo, who didn't really see it coming off as being the smartest or nicest of everyone there, but apparently she had faith in him. Also, he retired, now his daughter took over. Remember the aristocrats correctly. So yeah, there's no one left to sit on the throne anymore, which is a real shame, until we get the big reveal! As the queen looks down on Sonja, she says, kill? You kill me? A true fool you are, younger brother. Yeah! Sonju is a member of the royal family. He is essentially next in line for the throne. Did not see that coming, though it makes so much sense. I mean, I theorized maybe he was a member of the aristocrats, but a member of the royal family? That's next level right there. And it just really explains how Norman underestimated him so badly. I mean, sent all the Adams, everyone out to go kill him, the evil-blooded woman. I mean, Norman knew a bodyguard was there, but yeah, the bodyguard being a member of the royal frickin' family definitely explains why his men got their asses kicked so very thoroughly. Oh, and the hunters went after him before. That was, oh god, that's actually hilarious. When the people that were going after the Gracefield kids right after their escape fought with him. Yeah, that wasn't even a close fight. There's no doubt in my mind that a million times, if they fought a million times, he would definitely have murdered all of them just because, he's a member of the frickin' royal family. Hell, I think if he had said that, they would have just fallen to their knees and started praying to him. This also explains why he was in Archduke Louis's memory, Sonju defending an evil-blooded woman, because Sonju is literally his younger brother as well. So, yeah, I guess Sonju's gonna take the throne now? I mean, that makes the most sense, I think. It's interesting. Norman seems to know about the royal family enough where he's plotted everything out, how to, completely destroy their government, and he never realized, oh, there's another member of the royal family I didn't even think about. I wonder where he's at. He's probably not important. I almost have to feel like the world as a whole either thinks he's dead or just didn't know he existed in the first place. Very curious. Also, the queen killed his father. I mean, their father, but yeah. I kind of get why he has such hate for her. I mean, despite, that and the fact that, she is just an absolute monster inside and out, as he said. So, yeah, next week we're going to see Royal vs. Royal. I mean, Gillen, even with everything he ate, even with everything he did, he was no match even close to the queen, but her own brother, someone who, knows her more, someone who's more familiar with her tricks, I could definitely see him being a much better threat to her. I'm curious what else we can do in the flashback next chapter, explaining how Sonju met Musica. I mean, could he have been the one that brought her in, or he was her guard, or he visited her when she was in custody trying to get information from her about how her powers worked and eventually fell in love with her or something. And it's also possible that Musica herself is also, his sister, the another daughter of the last king. I mean, it will explain her powers. Normally, it seems like a weird mutation just for a random person to have, but she turns out to be, the long-lost daughter of the royal family, then that changes things quite a bit. Also possible that Sonja is her father. Didn't think of that. So the queen would be her aunt? A lot of possibilities with this royal family. I'm not really sure what they are. Hell, honestly, the evil-blooded woman could be the queen's daughter. And she's thrown out because she was Abomination. Then, when everyone's like, hey, her blood fixes everyone. Like, well, let's bring her back in. See, a lot of questions about all of that. But let me know your think down below. What is actually Sonja and Mitsuko's relationship? Why did Sonja leave the royal capital? And is he a match for the queen? I mean, her new form seems way more deadly than her last one. But I have to imagine there's some kind of catch or something to taking on this form, to becoming a true monster. Some sort of weakness in her sanity or her reasoning or something. But yeah, let me know your think down below. Be sure to like, subscribe so you don't miss my next video. And until then, peace.